My friend, the name you thought had left the Eagles' lives is back dominating NFL conversations, and an anonymous general manager just dropped a bombshell claiming that Howie Roseman is going to end up closing this deal. We're talking about a pass rusher who recorded 12 sacks last season, signed a contract worth $76.4 million, and spent his entire career trying to reach a competitive situation. And the twist of all twists, he might be coming back to Philadelphia. Before I break down all the details of this rumor that is shaking the NFL behind the scenes, drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel because this story has many layers, and the 2026 season is far from settled. Let's get into it. This player was drafted by the Eagles, developed within Philadelphia's system, and ended up leaving to sign with another team last offseason looking for a fresh start. In the 2025 season, he played in 17 games, recorded 30 tackles, 13 of them for a loss, generated 12 sacks, and hit the quarterback 17 times. Statistically, it was the best year of his career. But now the situation at his new team is changing, and with it comes the possibility of a reunion that Philadelphia fans certainly did not see coming. According to NFL insider Jason LaCanfora, an anonymous NFL general manager believes that Howie Roseman is going to end up bringing this player back. And that player is Josh Sweat. Sweat went to Arizona specifically to reunite with Jonathan Gannon, the former Eagles defensive coordinator who became the Cardinals head coach. It was a decision that made complete sense at the time. He wanted the spotlight. He wanted to be the guy. He wanted to play under a coach who knew him inside and out and trusted his talent. And he delivered. 12 sacks, 17 quarterback hits, 30 tackles with 13 for a loss. Those numbers put Sweat among the best pass rushers in the league last season. So why are we talking about a possible trade? Because the situation in Arizona is changing fast, my friend, and the Cardinals may not want to honor the remainder of a 4-year, $76.4 million contract with a player who might want to be with a more competitive franchise. The anonymous GM's quote is direct and powerful. According to LaCanfora, the executive said, "If nothing else, I think Howie takes him back." He went on to say that Philadelphia is going to beef up its defensive line one way or another. Now the central question is this: do the Eagles actually need Sweat? And more importantly, are they willing to pay the price a trade like this is going to demand? To answer that, it is essential to understand what Howie Roseman built at the pass rush position this offseason. After a 2025 season in which the Eagles had to go to the trade deadline market for emergency reinforcement, bringing in Jalen Phillips from the Dolphins in exchange for a 2026 third-round pick, Roseman was far more aggressive and calculated this offseason. The marquee move was Jonathan Greenard, coming over from the Minnesota Vikings on a 4-year, $98 million contract. Greenard is now the #1 pass rusher in Philadelphia's defensive scheme, the anchor of the defensive line, the guy who is going to set the tone for quarterback pressure in 2026. Alongside Greenard, Nolan Smith Jr. and Jalyx Hunt are competing for the second starting spot, two young players with enormous potential, but still lacking the elite consistency required for a franchise that wants to compete for the Super Bowl. Arnold Ebiketie, who posted a pressure rate of 16.4% last season, is solidifying himself as the fourth man in the rotation. And then, at the close of mandatory minicamp, the Eagles signed AJ Epenesa, a second-round pick in 2020 who spent 6 seasons with the Buffalo Bills. 6 feet 6 inches, 260 pounds, 27 years old, with 6 sacks in 2022, 6.5 in 2023, and 2.5 in 2025. Here is the thing, my friend. The Eagles currently have Greenard, Hunt, Nolan Smith, Ebiketie, Epenesa, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, and 7th-round rookie Keyshawn James Newby. That is a loaded room of pass rushers. And there is still the possibility that Brandon Graham, the franchise legend at 38 years old, comes back for one more season after coming out of retirement mid-season last year. With all that depth in place, why does the Sweat rumor keep breathing? Because there is an enormous difference, my friend, between roster depth and elite talent. Sweat would not be a rotation name. He would not be the 5th or 6th pass rusher in line. He would be a proven star, a player coming off the best season of his career, who knows Philadelphia's scheme inside and out, who has already played alongside the pillars of the Eagles' defense, and who knows exactly what Howie Roseman and the coaching staff expect from an edge rusher in this system. That familiarity carries an enormous value that does not show up on any statistics spreadsheet. But the financial detail complicates this conversation in a significant way. Sweat is still under contract with the Cardinals. Any trade involving him is going to cost draft picks and salary absorption. The Eagles, who have already committed $98 million to Greenard, need to carefully evaluate where their cap space allows for movement. According to information from Over the Cap, Philadelphia still has room to work with this offseason, but it is not a surplus that allows adding million-dollar contracts without careful planning. Roseman is going to need to perform some financial maneuvering if he wants to add Sweat without compromising the team's flexibility for other moves throughout the season. And there is a clear pattern in the Eagles' behavior during this period that cannot be ignored. AJ Epenesa on a one-year contract, Arnold Ebiketie with $4.3 million fully guaranteed, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka on a low-cost deal. Roseman is building depth without blowing up the cap, maintaining strategic flexibility to make a big move when the right opportunity presents itself. Sweat would be exactly that kind of big move. The question is whether Arizona will release him at a price the Eagles consider reasonable, or whether the Cardinals will try to extract maximum value from a franchise that clearly has interest. It is also worth remembering that Sweat's journey with the Eagles was long and, in many moments, marked by expectations that were never fully met collectively. He spent years being an important piece, but not the main piece of Philadelphia's defensive line. When he left for Arizona, he was chasing the spotlight, recognition, a chance to prove he could be the #1 guy on a franchise. He achieved that in 2025. Now, if the environment in Arizona is not living up to what he envisioned, the question is whether Sweat misses Philadelphia, or whether this is an interest coming more from Roseman and the league than from the player himself. The most realistic scenario, looking coldly at the available facts, is this. The Eagles are going to monitor Sweat's situation throughout training camp and the early weeks of the regular season. If the current defensive line shows consistent weaknesses, if a key player suffers a significant injury, or if Arizona decides to make Sweat openly available at a reasonable price, Roseman is going to be on the phone before any other GM in the league. He always is. The question was never whether Howie is interested in improving the team. The question has always been what the cost is and whether the Eagles are willing to pay it. Because at the end of the day, my friend, 12 sacks in a season is not easy to ignore. And an anonymous general manager from another NFL team publicly believing that Philadelphia is going to close this deal says a lot about how the league views Howie Roseman. He is not the type of executive who settles for a good team when he can have a great one. And with Jalen Hurts' competitive window narrowing with every season that passes, every decision along the defensive line carries even greater weight. With the Eagles' pass rush room already far more robust than it was in June of 2025, but with Josh Sweat available on the market and representing a real upgrade over anyone currently on Philadelphia's roster behind Greenard, do you think Howie Roseman should use draft picks and cap space to bring Sweat back? Or is the current depth already enough for the Eagles to reach the Super Bowl in 2026? Drop your opinion in the comments. Do not forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. I will be back later to update you with the latest Eagles news.